In computer graphics, there are two main types of information, raster and vector. Raster data is composed of pixels. Images are examples of raster data. Vector data, on the other hand, is represented by numerical coordinates in a spatial coordinate system. Drawings are examples of vector data. Let's compare these types with a practical example. Go to the File System and locate the Getting Started chapter folder. Then double-click on Cottage Sketch. This launches the Windows Photo Viewer, which was designed to view images. This is a pencil sketch, and if we zoom in by rolling the mouse wheel forward, you'll see the nature of raster data. As we get closer, the quality starts to deteriorate, and the image pixelates, as you can start to perceive the individual pixels of which it is made. Now, it doesn't really matter what color the pixels are in terms of the data. They can be white, a shade of gray, or black. But generally the same order of magnitude of information has to be stored. Now, because it's a JPEG, it's compressed, and it's much smaller than an equivalent TIFF image, but that's sort of beside the point. The point I want you to remember here is that raster data is made of pixels, and the quality depends upon the number of pixels that is captured. No matter what, if you zoom in close to raster data, the quality will deteriorate and it will start to pixelate. Now let's switch over to AutoCAD. Let's open the cottage drawing. Cottage 4 in this case. Now AutoCAD has the ability to represent both raster and vector data. I'll zoom into the raster image here in AutoCAD, and you'll see that it doesn't look quite so bad as it did in the photo viewer. That's because AutoCAD blurs the image to hide the pixelation, but nevertheless the quality still is degraded here the closer you zoom in. That's the nature of raster data. Now I'll zoom back out by rolling the mouse wheel, and I'll pan by dragging the mouse wheel. I'll zoom in here in this same corner, and this will reveal the fundamental way that AutoCAD works. It's vector in nature. No matter how close I get, the quality is always perfect. And that's because the way that AutoCAD stores this information is using a coordinate system rather than pixels. To appreciate this, click on one of the objects, and then right-click to open the Context menu and choose Properties. This opens the Properties palette, and it lists the specific information about this object that's selected. I'll scroll down, and you can see that this geometry is represented by 2 points, because 2 points determine a line, and it has coordinates for the start point and the end point. That's really all AutoCAD needs to represent this line, because it has a coordinate system and it can locate all of the different objects within that system. And that allows you to zoom in nearly infinitely into the smallest corners of your objects and still have perfect clarity. Now, what AutoCAD can't do is represent photographs and continuous tone very well. For that, you need a raster editing program such as Photoshop. But AutoCAD can display raster images and use them as underlays. So in this example, we have a pencil sketch that we used as inspiration for this accurate drawing. You might also scan an existing drawing on paper and use that as an underlay for adding additional systems. Finally, AutoCAD can also create raster images by rendering 3D models. But by and large, AutoCAD is primarily a vector-based tool. Now you know the strengths and limitations of both raster and vector information, and know AutoCAD's role in generating and utilizing both types of data.